Multiple Intelligences by Gardner. Learning Theory. The theory of multiple intelligences differentiates human intelligence into specific modalities, rather than seeing intelligence as dominated by a single general ability. Gardner proposed this model in his 1983 book Frames of Mind, The Theory of Multiple Intelligences. According to the theory, an intelligence modality must fulfill 8 criteria. In 2009, he suggested that existential and moral intelligences may also be worthy of inclusion. 1. Visual spatial intelligence. Picture smart. This area deals with spatial judgment and the ability to visualize with the mind's eye. Spatial ability is one of the 3 factors beneath in the hierarchical model of intelligence. Ability includes spatial judgment and the ability to visualize things. Think of people who think in pictures, can solve Rubik's Cube game very quickly, or can spot tiny differences between seemingly identical pictures. People with high spatial intelligence process information best using pictures, visuals, and imagery. They have a sense of direction and an ability to think and plan in 3 dimensions. Additional characteristics include the following: the ability to create complex mental images, active imagination, the ability to find their way mentally and physically around environment, the ability to see the physical world accurately and translate it into new forms, the ability to see things in relationship to others, the ability to use mind maps. Uses imagery and guided visualization. Likes visual support video, pictures, photos, charts, posters. Organizes space, objects, and areas. Enjoys designing and decorating. 2. Verbal linguistic intelligence. Word smart. People with high verbal linguistic intelligence display a facility with words and languages. They are typically good at reading, writing, telling stories and memorizing words along with dates. Verbal ability is one of the most G-loaded abilities. People with high verbal linguistics abilities display a facility with words and languages. They are typically good at reading, writing stories, and memorizing words along with dates. Imagine authors, voracious readers, or people who like to play with words. People with high linguistic intelligence love words. They prefer to process information through words and language versus pictures. They may prefer oral or written methods, or excel in both. Additional characteristics include the following: sensitive to the meaning, order, and sound of words. Uses varied language. Avid talkers. Good speakers. Likes to explain, convince, and persuade through words. Enjoys and excels at word games. Enjoys listening to, telling, and reading stories. Enjoys rhymes and poetry. Has good memory recall for names and dates. 3. Logical mathematical intelligence. Logic smart or number/reason smart. This area has to do with logic, abstractions, reasoning, numbers and critical thinking. This also has to do with having the capacity to understand the underlying principles of some kind of causal system. Logical reasoning is closely linked to fluid intelligence and to general intelligence. People with strong logical mathematical abilities tend to like playing with numbers and determining causation of simple to complex systems. Imagine people who can't do mental math with large numbers, or tinkerers who like to figure out how things work. People with high logical mathematical intelligence create order out of chaos by analyzing, grouping, and categorizing. They recognize relationships, connections, and patterns more easily than people with less logical intelligence. Additional characteristics include the following: ability to handle long chains of reasoning, likes reasons for doing things, possesses good inductive and deductive reasoning, quick to learn equivalencies, asks why and how questions, solves problems rapidly, likes to predict, analyze, and theorize, enjoys dealing with abstraction, strong at math and problem-solving skills, sequential thinker, enjoys board games and games with rules. 4. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence, body smart, gross motor skill and fine motor skills. Ability involves the ability to control one's bodily emotions or the ability to handle objects skillfully. Think of talented athletes, dancers or actors. The core elements of the bodily kinesthetic intelligence are control of one's bodily emotions and the capacity to handle objects skillfully. Gardner elaborates to say that this also includes a sense of timing, the clear sense of the goal of a physical action, along with the ability to train responses. People with high bodily kinesthetic intelligence process information through their bodies through muscle, sensation, and movement. Their bodies are their avenue to learning and understanding any content or subject, and is also their preferred form of self-expression. Additional characteristics include the following: a fine-tuned ability to use the body and handle objects, fine and gross motor, the ability to express emotions through bodily movement, enjoys physical movement and dance, constant movement, likes to get up and move around, commitment to comfort, uses body to accomplish a task, experiences a strong mind-body connection, expands awareness through the body, experiences a total physical response, often good at creative drama. 5. Musical rhythmic intelligence, music smart, musicality harmonic. This area has to do with sensitivity to sounds, rhythms, tones, and music. People with a high musical intelligence normally have good pitch and may even have absolute pitch, and are able to sing, play musical instruments, and compose music. They have sensitivity to rhythm, pitch, meter, tone, melody or timbre. People with high musical intelligence learn best through sound, rhythm, and music. These people learn better when music is playing and through musical metaphors. Additional characteristics include the following: the ability to perceive pitch, tone, and rhythmic pattern, well-developed auditory sense and discrimination, the ability to create, organize rhythmically, and compose music, picks up and creates melodies/rhythm easily, remembers songs easily, the ability to sing or play instruments, sensitive and drawn to sounds, possesses schemas for hearing music, constantly humming, tapping, and singing. 6. Interpersonal intelligence, people smart, social skills. In theory, individuals who have high interpersonal intelligence are characterized by their sensitivity to others' moods, feelings, temperaments, motivations, and their ability to cooperate in order to work as part of a group. The ability involves interactions with others. Individuals with high interpersonal ability tend to be keenly aware of others' moods, feelings, and motivations and tend to like working as part of a group. Think of politicians or really good salespeople. People with high interpersonal intelligence process information through relatedness to others. They are people. It is in relationship to and with other people that they best understand themselves and the world. Additional characteristics include the following: the ability to notice and discern subtleties among others, such as moods, temperaments, and feelings. Discern underlying intentions, behavior, and perspectives. Easily makes friends and enjoys the company of others. The ability to get into the perspective of another. Responds to verbal and non-verbal communications, facial cues and body movements. Recognizes and empathizes with others' feelings. The ability to negotiate and handle conflict resolution. Works cooperatively in a group. Works well with a diverse group of people. Good communication skills. Loves to talk and influence. 7. Interpersonal intelligence. Self-smart. The ability involves introspection and self-reflective capacities. This refers to having deep understanding of one's own strengths/weaknesses and predicting one's own reactions. Think of someone who is really good at setting and achieving self-goals based on an understanding of what he/she can accomplish. This area has to do with introspective and self-reflective capacities. This refers to having a deep understanding of the self, what one's strengths or weaknesses are, what makes one unique, being able to predict one's own reactions or emotions. People with high interpersonal intelligence have a strong sense of themselves, their wants, and needs. They are self-reflective and in touch with themselves. They may be the non-conformist individuals who march to their own drummer. Additional characteristics include the following: well-developed sense of self, awareness and expression of different feelings, self-reflection and mindfulness, the ability to think about thinking, i.e., metacognition, transpersonal sense of self, asks big questions: why are we here? And what happens when we die? Often is a daydreamer. Often writes introspectively, including prose, poetry, or journal writing. Excellent self-planners and good at goal setting. Enjoys solitude and likes to think alone. Good understanding of strengths and weaknesses. Enjoys self-discovery. 8. Naturalistic intelligence. Nature smart, not part of Gardner's original 7. Naturalistic intelligence was proposed by him in 1995. If I were to rewrite Frames of Mind today, I would probably add an 8 intelligence. The intelligence of a naturalist. The ability involved relating to one's natural environment. Think of botanists, nature lovers who like being in the wild, pet lovers who relate well to animals, or even chefs who can create unique combinations of flavors. Naturalistic intelligence is manifested in a particular sensitivity to nature, to the environment, and to living creatures. This is a sensitivity that leads to recognizing and classifying in detail the variety present in the world around us. Obviously, scientists are gifted with this talent, but so are several members of those primitive tribes who have the ability to distinguish the very numerous aspects and indications offered by the nature surrounding them. Children endowed with this intelligence demonstrate a particular interest in natural phenomena, in animals and in plants. 9. Existential intelligence. Sensitivity and capacity to tackle deep questions about human existence, such as the meaning of life, why we die, and how did we get here. Introspective questions of life, death and existence.